So I'm going to talk a little bit about the fishing that we do. I didn't think we were doing that well at fishing until I talked to some other cruisers here in the Med, and it seems like no one ever catches any fish ever. So we're doing a little bit better than that, so I'll show you the gear that we use. So far we've caught lots of pollock and mackerel in the Atlantic. We caught a tuna crossing Biscay, we caught another tuna in the Med, and we've caught lots of sea bream as well. So this is the rig that we use for mackerel fishing. Obviously more on the Atlantic coast than in the Med. We were fishing for mackerel. So we've got mackerel feathers, these things. And then on the end we've just got one of these small little, I think it's called a jig, little fishing guy with a treble hook there. And then we keep this wrapped up on a hand line, and we use this, which is called a paravane. And then that just, when it's going through the water, just dives down to get the lures down deep. And that works really well, because when a fish grabs it, it pops up to the surface. And we normally tow it about 30 metres behind our boat. So this simple little rig is what we use for catching sea bream. Sea bream are a bit fussy, so we have our thinnest line and our smallest hook. And then what we tend to do is just chuck in loads of bits of lettuce and put a bit of lettuce on here and throw that in once they all start feeding. And we caught lots of sea bream in the Balearics with that. It worked really well. So this is the best one. This is our tuna fishing lure. This is, I think they call it like a skirted trolling lure, and it's got quite a big hook on it. And this tows along behind the boat, normally about 25 metres away, and because of this shape on the front of it, it pops through the surface and makes loads of bubbles, and tuna really like it. That works really well if you're trolling around 4 to 6 knots. But we don't really go faster than that, but I think they can go faster than that if you do go faster. But once it gets down to slower boat speeds, it's not as good. And then on this we also have what's called a snubber, this elastic thing. And that helps because when a fish bites a tuna lure, it's expecting it to stop. Whereas if it just keeps going, as your boat keeps going, then sometimes they'll just let go of it. So we use that, but then it's backed up with like a bit of rope as well. So I have tried using trolling reels, but I found them much more difficult than using a hand line. With a hand line you can really kind of grab it and work it around the what's called a Cuban yo-yo. I found that a lot easier to do than trying to reel it in on a trolling reel. So we tend to stick to those. They're also cheaper and just easier. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out the Wetsuit Outlet website for all of your sailing gear.